'cause I'm a bad, 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 bad bitch.
What's up, everyone? This is another episode of For the People in the Back podcast. I'm your host of Phoenix Diva, or you can call me Diva, and this is a podcast for the people who can never afford the first row, but always the standing section in the back. You are appreciated. So I hope you guys had a great week. I feel like I had a great week myself. I have been really enjoying myself, reading books, taking care of my mental health, and today I have this weird feeling today. And that is a sense of coldness. Like, I went into my room and I felt cold. Now, for some people that don't know, I live in Texas and we've been having this insane, July was just awful, to be quite honest with you. I cannot remember any time in my life I've experienced something like that in the last 10 years possibly. It was just brutal. It was really, really brutal. We're now in August, thank God, and I asked my A-word what the temperature was, and they said it was 99 degrees. So I'm just like, you know what? 99 is still hot, but it's not like 110, 105, 107. So it makes a huge difference. So I went into my room to get into my closet to record this podcast, and I was like, oh my God, I have this strange feeling, and that's cold. I don't know what to do with myself with this feeling of cold. So I'm super excited. Still no rain. I saw a little drizzle the other day, but no rain. We still need rain, but we are this is like a work in progress of me getting some kind of heat break in Texas, but really, really excited that I went into my room and I felt cold. So there's that. So in this episode, I'm going to do something different that I haven't done in the previous episodes. One thing about myself, I'm always trying to do better and improve my content and how to present my content. I'm always trying to improve. And if somebody does something and I think it's a great idea, or somebody mentions something and I think it's a great idea, I'm going to take that fucking idea. That's just how I feel. I take the idea. What you going to do, boo? So I seen it brought up twice, and I don't really believe in coincidences. I do believe in coincidences, but sometimes I don't. I feel like sometimes if you keep on getting the same message, you're getting that message for a reason. And so both creators, Stardust and another creator, Internet Unwind, who I both admire for different reasons regarding how they produce their content, they both have mentioned or they use Google Sheets. So the second time I saw it mentioned, it was Internet Unwind. He actually put out a tweet saying something like, something about Google Sheets. And I'm like, you know what? That's a great fucking idea. That's a great idea. So this episode, instead of giving you guys a whole laundry list of sources and links and things like that, I'm going to post this Google Sheets in the description. And it's going to be a slideshow. And it's the same slideshow that I'm currently looking at for myself, which hopefully will help me gather my thoughts better when I'm recording this show, so we can all follow along and you can see exactly what I'm talking about, and you can physically see the pictures and things like that. So instead of just individual links, it is a Google Sheet, which is free. You don't have to pay anything. You can't edit it. All you can do is just look at it, and it's going to be in the description on everywhere where you get your podcast and on the YouTube channel. So let's just start with the show. So the first topic that we're going to talk about is Brittney Griner. So Brittney Griner is a WNBA player. They have been in Russia for a while now. And girl, they just got sentenced. And Brittney Griner got sentenced for 9 years in Russia. And why is she in jail? Why is she getting sentenced for 9 years in Russia? For bringing a fucking weed pen.
Shut up! That is so stupid!
Now, I can already hear some of y'all saying, well, why is a weed pen such a big deal? Or weed shouldn't be, criticized this much. Or there's some people that might be like, well, why the fuck would she bring a weed pen with her to a foreign country to begin with? Because foreign countries don't play. People forget shit. Right? People forget they have shit in their bags. And if you ever seen a weed pen, it's actually really, really small. So I can see somebody accidentally leaving that in their bag. It's in your bag, that's drug possession. It's that fucking easy. Now, I don't know exactly if that's what happened to her, but I can assume that happened to her. And for her to be, like, still in Russia, and now she's gonna have to sentence 9 years for what seems like to me a simple mistake. Like, if it was, like, hardcore drugs, like heroin, meth, or anything like that, like, then I could understand why Russia would be pissed. But it's a fucking weed pen. A fucking weed pen. And she's gonna be there for 9 years over a goddamn weed pen. And our current president hasn't done shit. Now, before everybody wants to bring up race and things like that, I got that covered to debunk y'all. So, again, different administration. By the way, I'm not a fan of Trump, but I'm just trying to make the point here. Under a different administration, 3 UCLA players were in China, and they acted a fucking fool in China. Got in trouble in China for stealing shit. And Trump had to go over there and get their asses out. Now, if you're looking at the slide, guess what? They're not. They're not white, they're black. So before we do the race shit, we had Trump getting 3 boys out of UCLA, not out of UCLA, 3 boys out of possibly getting into some serious trouble in China over fucking stealing. Trump had to handle that and got them the fuck out of here. So again, this isn't a race thing. This is our administration thing. 2 different people, 2 different administrations. So, sorry, we have Biden with a black VP and Brittney Griner is still in jail. I'm not trying to be political. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is. Trump, white, right? White, got 3 people that aren't white who got in trouble doing some dumb shit in China. UCLA players, got them out of China, they're home. Brittney Griner brings a weed pen to Russia. Her ass never got out, and she got fucking sentenced to 9 years. What are we doing? Get her the fuck out, you idiots. So, to end this, little honorable mention, Boozy, was very, very upset about this. Very, very upset. Not feeling it. What happened to Brittany? Not feeling it, not for it. Now, for people that know Boozy, I know he is controversial. I know that he said things that are fucked up. And I'm not here to defend the man. But what I will say is a broken clock is right twice a day. So, I'm just going to play what he said, and then we're going to come back.
How the hell this girl get 9 years for a weed pen? And the USA ain't doing nothing about it. You tell me that. If that was Taylor Swift, it'll be a peace treaty right now. It'll be a slight, they'll be drafting to go to war for a weed pen. 9 years. What that show for black women in the United States? And the vice president, as a black woman, you supposed to be on the front line. You supposed to be on the front line to get that black woman out of jail. 9 damn years. Y'all fucked up in this world.
So for me, I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know what else to say about it. This shit's embarrassing, and we need to do better. We need to do better. Next. Now, our second honorable mention, because we haven't gone to the current topic of today, so we're just doing an honorable mentions right now if you haven't figured it out. Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson have officially called it quits. And this is why I'm bringing it up. Because I feel bad for Pete. I don't give a damn about Kim. I feel bad for Pete. Because I'm starting to see a pattern with Pete Davidson. So people that don't know, Pete Davidson was all involved with Kim's kids. Got her children tattooed on him. I believe on his neck. Got several tattoos about Kim on his body and even branded himself, I think, Kim's name or something. This man is going above and beyond to show devotion and love. Okay? And I believe he did the same similar shit to Ariana Grande. And y'all might not remember with Ariana Grande. So, like, they were going to get married. And then that rapper passed away that Ariana Grande was in love with. And so I think she dumped Pete because of the whole grief thing. And he didn't handle it well. And, like, I think he had to go to rehab and all types of shit. So Pete has a history of having, you know, type of mental health issues, right? He has a history of it. And Pete, I need you to find somebody that actually wants to be around you, that actually loves you. And I want you to learn how to love yourself enough so you can stop branding your body of other people's names, so for you to show the ability of affection. Now, I'm not a psychiatrist or anything. This is completely a person looking from the outside, looking in. This is outside looking in, babe. You should not be tattooing yourself like you do every time you get in a relationship, Pete. It's inappropriate. There's other ways for you to show love and affection. So, Pete, I hope you're okay. I hope you are handling this breakup okay. I really don't give a damn about Kim. She will find new dick. It's her. She's almost a goddamn billionaire, so she could go and buy some dick if she wants to. So I'm not even worried about Kim. I'm not going to talk about her kids because kids are off limits. But, Pete, you got to love yourself better. You got to do better. You got to love yourself better. Because in my mind, I'm not attracted to you, but I think you're a nice person. I would not have sex with you, but I really do think you're a nice person. I think you're a sweet individual and you deserve better in your life. Next. So, honorable mention. So I did 2 podcasts about Stranger Things, right? And the last one I did, I alluded to, it was a theory, not a fact. It was just a theory that I felt like the Stranger Things did not bring in the numbers like they were supposed to, since in quarter 2, Netflix still lost 1 million subs. Well, guess what? The bitch is right. The bitch was motherfucking right, and I got the receipts and the slides. Stranger Things Season 4 didn't manage to break the record of Squid Game to become Netflix's most popular season of TV ever. No one watched. And this season of Season 4 was supposed to be like, it was supposed to be like the really, really big thing. It was split into 2 parts. Each episode they spent multi-millions of dollars each episode. Like, this was supposed to be the season for Stranger Things, right? And bitch, nobody watched. Well, people did watch, but nobody watched. So you're trying to tell me that Squid Game with no budget beat the fuck out of Stranger Things? That tells you, people, that we're just not interested in what we are interested in, what we're not interested in. We need to stop relying so much on CGI and get to the writing and the content. Because, bitch, people were watching the Squid Games and did not even renew their subscription to go see what happened to 11. I'm just saying. So a bitch was right. Let's make some noise for me being right. Yes. Next honorable mention, and the last one too. So the last podcast I talked about a article about a special effects artist and how they felt about working with Marvel and stuff. So this came out this week. A show coordinator says the whole VFX industry seems a bit depressed on the heels of Marvel's Phase 5 and 6 announcement, specifically because of the insane amount of work it'll be on its own. They're not the appealing client they used to be. So we're not going to read that article because we got some other shit to talk about, and I like to keep these podcasts at a certain amount of time. But bitch, I have the article in the slides if you guys are interested in. But I'm just wanting to bring this up because that means that we are continuing the conversation. And we need to continue the conversation because us as consumers, we need to be cognizant of the people behind the scenes giving us this type of content that we love and enjoy. So I want the special effects team and the VFX industry to get what they deserve, and I'm here for it, and I support y'all. Now to the main topic. Let's go. So I don't know where I was. I was somewhere. I didn't know where I was. But bitch, this week I had no idea or a clue that there was going to be a Batgirl show or a movie or whatever. I had no idea or a clue. No idea or a clue. But apparently there was going to be one. Well, not anymore. It was announced this week. Batgirl film axed by Warner Brothers won't be released on any platform. Aww. Let's get to the article, shall we? So this article came out on August 2nd, bitch. Which I believe was a Tuesday. Yeah, it was a Tuesday, I believe. Batgirl. I'm reading the article, y'all. The feature film adaptation of the DC Comics character has been killed at Warner Brothers. Variety has confirmed it. It will not premiere on any platform at the studio, neither theatrically nor on HBO Max. The production, starring Leslie Grace as Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, and directed by Bad Boys for Life and Miss Marvel filmmakers, I'm not pronouncing their names, was greenlit in 2021 as part of a company-wide effort at Warner Brothers to create feature films specifically for HBO Max, but the new corporate regime at Warner Brothers Discovery has pivoted the company's priorities back to theatrical features, leaving Batgirl without a proper home. Also on the chopping block, Scoob Holiday Hunt, a follow-up to the 2020 film Scoob, has been shelved by the studio. Footage for the animated adaptation of the Scooby-Doo series was showcased in a sizzle reel for HBO Max back in 2021. Sources indicated that the production had cost Warner Brothers $40 million. So $40 million for the Scooby-Doo. Now, this is the thing. I didn't watch Scooby-Doo. I don't watch kid shit unless I'm watching it with a fucking kid. I don't watch it. It's just a personal preference of mine. I don't watch kid shit. But I did hear that it did really, really well. They released it during the beginning of the pandemic, and they released it for home movie rental, so like Amazon rental and things like that. And it did really well. People said that did really well, and then the Trolls movie did really well. People purchasing it at home, and I said that it did well because it's a lot different taking your kids to a movie theater, buying popcorn, buying the drinks, buying this, buying that, da-da-da, and then getting to your seat. I know when I took my nephews and my sister to the movies one time, and it was my treat, I spent $100 motherfucking dollars.
Damn!
Yes. So, and that is 4 people. Me, my sister, my 2 nephews. $100 I spent at the fucking, going to the fucking movies. Okay? Now imagine me, instead of spending $100 to watch this movie, I spent $20. I don't have to buy popcorn. I don't have to buy drinks. I don't have to buy snacks. I don't have to do a goddamn thing. All I gotta do is just buy it, pay $20, and have them, and we just all sit in the living room, whatever. It's cheaper. So in my mind, that's why these movies did better, you know, at home instead of going to a movie theater. That's just my opinion. But like for me spending $100, and this was in December 2019, so this was before the pandemic. December 2019. Well, before, you know, U.S. shutdown. Let's be clear. I don't want to get a whole political argument, but y'all know what I mean. So this was in December 2019. I spent $100, right? So pretty much everyone else was probably doing the same thing. And so being at home, spending $20 to watch a movie, yeah, it's going to do better. So the Trolls did really good, and Scoob did really, really good. Studio insiders insist the decision to axe Batgirl was not driven by the quality of the film or the commitment of the filmmakers, but by the desire for the studio's slate of DC features to be at a blockbuster scale. That's kind of contradictory. Because you're saying it has nothing to do with the quality of the film or the commitment of the filmmakers, but you want to be at a blockbuster scale. So you're saying that it was trash. So that's contradictory. Batgirl is budgeted to screen in homes on HBO Max and not for a major global release in theaters. The initial $75 million production budget for the project, which finished principal photography earlier this year and was in post-production, reached $90 million due in part to COVID-related delays and protocols. The decision still comes as a shock, as studios almost never shelve productions outright, preferring to get at least some return on their investment. It also comes as Warner Bros. Is still contending with what to do about The Flash, a DC adaptation created and budgeted specifically for theatrical release in 2023. The film has been utterly hamstrung by repeated allegations of abuse and misconduct by its star Ezra Miller, which we talked about that in previous episodes of the podcast. And it's not like Batgirl was a small movie either. Along with Grace, J.K. Simmons plays Barbara's father, Commissioner Jim Gordon, and Michael Keaton reprises his role as Batman, as he also does in The Flash. Brendan Fraser plays the villain Firefly, and Grace told Variety in April that she had preliminary discussions with the two directors about what a sequel could be. There's crazy stunts, crazy drops. She's a biker chick, so you're going to see her do a bunch of badassery. There was a lot of long days, but it was so worth it. The New York Post first reported on one of the brothers' decision to not release Batgirl. Okay. So this is where it gets interesting, y'all. So we just read that, right? So the tea is that the directors and shit weren't informed before they publicly announced it. Yeah, that's the tea. That's the tea. Like, the directors weren't notified before they released it to the press. So the press knew before the directors. Ain't that some bullshit? So then it was reported, a minute after this story posted, got a call from a rival studio exec who was floored by the move. Worked in this town for 3 decades, and this is some unprecedented shit right here. So people are freaking the fuck out. Now, the directors made a statement. We are saddened and shocked by the news. We still can't believe it. As directors, it is critical that our work be shown to audiences, and while the film was far from finished, we wish the fans all over the world would have had the opportunity to see and embrace the final film themselves. Maybe one day they will. Inshallah. Our amazing cast and crew did a tremendous job and worked so hard to bring Batgirl to life. We are forever grateful to have been part of that team. It was a dream to work with some fantastic actors like Michael Keaton, J.K. Simmons, Brendan Fraser, I can't pronounce that name, Corey Johnson, Rebecca Front, and especially the great Leslie Grace, who portrayed Batgirl with so much passion, dedication, and humanity. In any case, as huge fans of Batman since we were little kids, it was a privilege and an honor to have been part of the DCEU, even if it was for a brief moment. Batgirl for life. So, after Batgirl, it was announced about being canceled, it immediately, snippets and pictures started leaking. And from what I saw, and I have some of the pictures in the slides, it does not look good, guys. The costumes don't even look tailored. This shit does not even look tailored. I'm looking at a picture of Michael Keaton's Batman suit, and it looks like a wobbly mess. The shit isn't tailored. It's crimping all over the place. It's not form-fitting. The material looks cheap. Why couldn't you take your ass to a goddamn cosplayer? Why couldn't you go to San Diego Comic-Con, find somebody that made a Batman suit, take them to the side saying, bitch, we need assistance, we need help. We keep on trying to make Michael Keaton's Batman suit. It looks like trash. He is slipping and sliding all over the goddamn material, and we are unable to work a sewing machine. We don't know how to use measuring tape because Michael Keaton looks crazy and we need help. But no, that's not what you did. You let Michael Keaton go out in these streets looking crazy. Like, this shit is embarrassing. The pictures I'm seeing, I just don't understand it. Why is a $75 million turning $90 million production making Michael Keaton look crazy in these streets? Now, Brendan Fraser looks crazy, but that's fine. Like, I guess that Firefly character is supposed to look crazy. And J.K. Simmons, I don't know if you guys were purposely trying to make him look untailored either, but his clothes don't fit his clothes don't fit either. Nobody's clothes is fitting. Why can't you get the clothes to fit? The fuck? You couldn't go to fucking Netflix all the times that fucking Netflix had to adjust my baby daddy Henry Cavill in doing The Witcher because my baby daddy kept on busting open the costumes because he kept on getting more muscular. You can call them motherfuckers from The Witcher to go and fix Michael Keaton up. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, the shit's offensive. It's offensive. Then there's pictures of what the Batgirl costume looks like. It don't look tailored. Then a script got leaked. Gotham Steel Knight. Fressie approaches Babs, looking unsure of how she even got past security. She smirks and pops her knuckles with glee. Fressie, that was some stunt you pulled back there. Everyone's gonna be looking for a girl in a bat costume. Babs, I think I scared him enough, plus I got what I needed. Fressie, maybe I just don't get the batting time thing. Is that a catchphrase? I hope you did not. This $90 million budget wasn't included in this script. Also, there was reports. They were saying that due to like low viewer audience ratings, that's why they didn't put the Batgirl movie out. I just decided to add to the conversation that Black Adam had that same exact fucking test score, and they allowed Black Adam to leave and be put in the movie theaters. I just thought to add that because, and I didn't see Black Adam because I personally think that Warner Brothers movies are trash, but that just kind of irritated me. And that was like another thing that irritated me is that, like, that's the thing, WB. Like, y'all been putting trash out for a while. I don't really enjoy films from y'all. The last film I enjoyed from y'all was The Batman. Your animated movies are fucking fire. Don't get it fucked up or twisted. But your movies are trash. The Matrix 4 was trash. You had to put out DLCs to fix your superhero movies, and they were still trash. You're not going to have me spending 5 hours to figure out a movie because you can't write and figure out what the fuck you're trying to tell me in the story. So if you can't tell me a story in 2 hours and you got to give me a DLC to push the movie to almost 5 hours, I'm no longer interested because a bitch is booked and busy. I'm not going to spend 5 hours watching a movie that you had difficulties in writing because you lack the skill and the vernacular to get your shit together. Wonder Woman 84, I left the chat 13 minutes in. That was absolute trash. So that was like another thing that was interesting to me about Warner Brothers. They were like, no, we want to put out good quality stuff, and this movie wasn't good quality, and I kind of want to know what you define as trash because y'all been putting out nothing but trash recently. So I want to know, was this Wonder Woman 84 trash? Was this Batman versus Superman trash? I just want to know what level of trash this was. But to be fair, you guys do have new leadership, so maybe there might be somebody, you know, with y'all that got some fucking common sense. Now, going back to y'all having different leaderships, y'all are saying now that movies aren't promised to be on HBO Max after 45 days. That the theatric release. And you know what? I don't have a problem with that. I think that everything is open for business now, and if you want to go to the movies, wear a mask if that's what you want to do. Bring Lysol if that's what you want to do. Bring Sandy wipes if that's what you want to do. So I kind of don't see why we need the 45 days. I think we can kind of go back to normal when it comes to putting movies on streaming service, but that's just me. But here's another thing, you guys. It wasn't just Batgirl and the Scooby-Doo that got canned. They were moving other shit too. Why HBO Max removed 6 streaming exclusive movies with more to come. HBO Max has removed at least a half dozen Warner Brothers movies made specifically for HBO Max. IndieWire has confirmed. More cuts are coming. Moonshot starring Cole Sprouse and Zach Braff, Superintelligence starring Melissa McCarthy, and written by her husband Ben Falcone, the 2020 remake of The Witches, an American Pickle starring Seth Rogen, Lockdown starring, can't pronounce that name, and Anne Hathaway, and a Sundance title, Charm City Kings, were the ones noticeably scrubbed from HBO Max over the past few months. Also permanently benched was LeBron James and Maverick Carter's House Party reboot, which was slated to premiere July 28th on HBO Max but was never released. A person with knowledge of the decision told IndieWire the 6 movies in question, at first discussed on a Reddit thread and reported by Variety, are part of a long list of films the series pulled from HBO Max and Discovery Plus as a Warner Brothers Discovery executives prepare to turn 2 subscriber video on demand services into one. The content being targeted for removal tends to be shows and movies that are not performing on the service but have an opportunity for a partial write-off. So if you haven't, I don't think I mentioned it, but all this shit that they are canning, they're all tax write-offs. All of them are tax write-offs. So that $90 million for Batgirl, write-off. The $40 million I think I said for Scoop, write-off. All this shit, write-off. Write it off. Con costs can be amortized or assigned a cost that gets recognized by an entity across multiple years. Over the program or film's expected lifetime. If years on that timeline remain, a company can remove that asset from distribution and use its remaining cost balance to offset taxable income elsewhere. Okay. The accounting practice is not a new one, but it's under the microscope at the moment, especially given the Batgirl bombshell. Yes. With option to release the Leslie Grace starring DC Comics movie on Max as planned, or to invest tens of millions more and pivot to theatrical. David Zaslav chose neither. So you'll never see that movie, which included the return of Michael Keaton as Batman, and that guy's accountants probably didn't see their families for weeks figuring that one out. The scrubbing of streaming movies from HBO Max is another example of differentiating strategies between the new boss, Zaslav, and the old boss, Jason Kilar. I'm butchering the name. So it's like I said earlier, they have new leadership now. The Z guy, who oversees the entirety of Warner Bros. Discovery, has the inevitable and self-imposed to some extent task of identifying $3 billion in cost-saving synergies between his now merged-forming company, Discovery Inc., and Warner Media. Killer was shown the door immediately, as were some of his projects, CNN Plus, and his streaming-centric approach. So it's just bad. So they're just cleaning house, basically. So the new guy, David, says they're setting up a team at DC with a 10-year plan with a significant focus on quality. He knows Kevin Feige's Marvel Studios model as an inspiration. Okay. They also put out a chart saying these are the brands that they view as great for HBO Max and Discovery Plus. So that's basically it. And people are really, really upset about what's going on. They're like, you're destroying HBO Max, you're killing it, and things like that. There's a lot of other rumors going on, but like I can't report on rumors. There's so much more content out there. Basically, what I presented with you guys are things that are like actually factual. But there is a rumor that they're saying out there. This is strictly a rumor. They're saying that Black Adam and Shazam are going to be the center of the new reboot of the DC universe, and that the previous things they've done has been scrubbed, which I think they should be scrubbed since Cyborg, they fired that guy, he's gone. Wonder Woman 84, failure. They fired Henry Cavill. Ben Affleck, seriously, after what Robert Pattinson did, no, he's not coming back. Ezra with The Flash, you know, it speaks for itself. And then Aquaman's disaster because of Amber Heard. And I heard that movie wasn't that great either. So this is what I do think. I think that a lot of money has been wasted on this DC Universe franchise. I think there's been poor accounting. Like I said, I don't understand how they spent $90 million on the Batgirl thing. I put the receipts in these slides. I don't understand why it looks so crazy for $90 million. It looks crazy. So I do think there is some sort of fraud that's going on. That is my opinion. I don't know it for a fact, but I think there's some embezzlement. It's an opinion, not a fact. It is just my opinion. I think there's something wrong, and I think there needs to be a full investigation of how that money was spent, because from what I'm seeing, this shit looked so bad. The script is bad, but Warner Brothers has been putting out bad shit for years, and if this new leadership is trying to turn it around, then good for them. I'm happy for them, and I do agree that we do need to wipe this universe out. It's just unfixable. It's really, really not, and I understand that people do like Gal Gadot and things like that, and that's great. You can. That's fine, but you got two Wonder Woman movies for her, and then you can see her in Batman and Superman, and then you can see her on Justice League and the DLC Justice League movie, and the DLC version of Batman vs Superman. So you have plenty of material with Gal Gadot. You're fine. You'll be okay. But I think this is a huge wake-up call for the industry. I think the industry needs to wake up. I think the industry needs to see that people are not going to spend money on these streaming services if you're not coming through with great products. And I think that HBO and Discovery, with this move, they are understanding that, and they're going to be more cost effective, and they're actually going to listen and care about their consumers and not just keep on putting out bullshit and wondering why we're canceling our subscriptions like Netflix. So I really feel bad for the people involved with Batgirl. I don't hold them responsible, obviously, because decisions were made and decisions were approved. And at the end of the day, it sucks. It's horrible. And people are saying, like, this is very unprecedented in this business for them to shelve a movie like this, no matter how bad it is. But you know what? If you're in the industry, I think this is something that you guys need to be kind of concerned about. Because if HBO just said, we're going to do a tax write-off on this Batgirl movie, a $90 million loss, right? And the Scoob movie, which I think I said either, like, that was like, I think I said $40 million or something, they already invested in that. So they're throwing away over $100 million, right? Over $100 million are thrown away, right? Right. So, everybody else in this industry, yeah, you need to clutch your pearls, bitch, because you could be next. Well, that's all I got for y'all today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. And remember to like, subscribe, and thank you for listening, of course. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.